welcome back to my channel. Now I know I look a little bit weird, that's just because my makeup isn't finished, but I wanted to share with you guys something that's new in the market that really caught, I think, everyone's attention because of its price, apparently because it is full coverage, and because it is a dupe for one of the world's most popular concealers out in the market since 2016. And I am talking about the new Makeup Revolution concealers. This is actually called the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. Now this concealer has 18 shades and you can pick it up at Ulta.com for $7 per each concealer. This concealer has 18 shades in its line and you can pick it up at Ulta.com for $7, which I think is really great for a concealer. As I said in the beginning, this is supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which does retail for $27. So for $20 less, you can get a quote-unquote dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. Now, this does have a lot less product in it than Shape Tape. If I remember correctly, Shape Tape has 0.33 fluid ounces of product, while these have 0.11 fluid ounces of product in it. This basically has a third of the product that Shape Tape has, so keep that into consideration, because if you wanted to get the full amount that you get in Shape Tape, you'd have to buy 3, which retails for $21, so you'd technically only be saving 6, but it really depends on your preference. It depends on how much you use concealer, like how much of the concealer you use during each use. So these can go really quickly or really slowly depending on your use. So the shades that I picked up are C6 and C8. Now on Ulta's website, it says that C6 is for light to medium skin tones with a yellow undertone, and that C8 is for medium skin tones with yellow undertone. The reason why I didn't get C7 is because it says it's for medium skin tones with peach undertone. And I believe that's the same for C5. C5 is for light skin tones with a pink undertone. So pink undertones don't work for me. I have more yellow. There's no pink. I can pull off some neutrals, but it doesn't give me that bright effect. C6 is currently sold out on Ulta. It wasn't when I ordered it like 2 days ago. So it is one of the most popular shades. I will swatch them for you now. It's a big jump because C8 is basically the shade up from C6 when it comes to yellow undertones. I wish they would add more shades in between C6 and C8, to be quite honest. I feel like it's a huge gap in the shades. So this one is C6 and this one is C8. As you can see, just in one shade jump, it is completely like, this one is more like, it's borderline foundation-ish, borderline like orangey, peachy, while this one looks straight up white. Now, I am not dark, and also the camera does kind of wash me out a bit with my ring lights and with my background. Like the white, it just really whites me out a lot. But C6, girl, that flashback is going to be intense. I'll probably put C6 on one side and C8 to C. It's going to be quite a dramatic, or it's going to be quite a drastic change. If you have dark circles, honey, these concealers on their own are not going to do it for you. You are going to have to correct. Especially with C6, if you are like my skin tone or like a little bit lighter and you want a lighter concealer, this will bring out the dark, like the blue of your under eyes so badly. It looked great. It looked nasty. So I'm definitely going to have to correct before I use these concealers, which doesn't bother me. Whenever I'm going out, like I don't do this every day, but whenever I'm going out for like dinner, not dinner, but like if I'm going out with my friends and I know I'm gonna be like partying and stuff, I do like to wear a corrector. Some of my favorites are the Smashbox. It looks rinky dinky. That's how much you know I like it. Or the LA Pro Conceal. This is the orange one. If you're my skin tone or lighter, you can get the peach one. I just haven't been able to pick it up. Since it's full coverage, I'm going to use my LA Girl just because it is more affordable, and I'm trying to give you guys affordable options. A little goes a long way, guys. A little goes a long way. I'm just gonna zoom you in so you kind of get a better feel of what it looks like. So now we're real up close and personal. Way more close up than I would like. But I thought it'd be best if you guys saw it up close, just because, you know, you do need to see it. So I'm going to use some of this corrector, put some on the back of my hand, and I'm going to really just dab it here because that's where a lot of my dark circles is. Now the camera's not really picking it up. You see some darkness, but in person it's really gray. I haven't had a lot of sleep, and I'm sorry I'm giving you a middle finger. I just always use that type of product. Now that's a lot. That's even more than I would like to do it, but I'm really going to conceal, guys. I know this looks crazy. Like I said, if you are my skin tone or lighter, definitely get the peach one and not the orange one, because this one you really need to conceal out because the orange is extremely strong. But I definitely want to see how well this full, quote unquote, full coverage concealer is going to conceal this. You can use your fingers for this process. You can use a beauty sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques sponge. Again, drugstore. Let's go with affordable, guys. And I'm really trying to keep this corrector down in my eyes, like not bring it to my nose. And I know it's looking real crazy right now. I know I'm looking crazy, but hopefully this concealer, let's pray to the makeup gods, conceals this, because at the end of the day, that's what, you know, if it says it's full coverage, it should definitely, you know, conceal this as well. I'm looking real crazy right now, but it's okay. We will get through it. We will get through it. So I'm going to use C6 on this side and C8 on this one. So I'm taking C6, definitely the same applicator or a similar applicator to Shape Tape, really big doe foot applicator. It goes on, she goes on thick, honey. She goes on thick. I'm definitely putting on more concealer than I would do on an everyday basis. Like if I'm just going to work, I will dab a little bit on, because to be honest, I work a 9-to-5 job, honey. Ain't nobody got time to be putting on a full beat. No one's looking at me. I ain't trying to impress no one at work. I just go to, you know, look good for myself. So as you can see, like, I haven't blended it in. Some of the orange is peeking through, so, you know, take that into account. It could have been that corrector, because, you know, that corrector is a little too dark. But as I pack on, I'm packing on 2 layers, and I'm gonna let it sit. That's a trick that I have picked up from watching other YouTubers like Jackie Aina. Just let the concealer sit for a little bit. Just keep in mind that this concealer does dry pretty quickly, quicker than Shape Tape, so don't leave it on for like 20 minutes and then attempt to blend it out, because you're going to give yourself a hard time. So on this side, I'm using C8, which I could probably use as a foundation. As you can see, look at the difference in the colors. This one pulls a little bit more orange on me than C6. Definitely the contrast, guys. This one is a little too dark for me. It's weird because this one is just really white in person, but it looks a little bit better on camera, and this one looks more orange in person than it does on camera. But again, I'm definitely using way more concealer than I would ever really need to, but you know, we'll get through it. I would probably mix C6 with C8 because, like I said, I feel like C6 is just a tad bit too light for me. It'll flash back, and I like to wear light concealers, but I think this one is just it's a little too light for me. Alright, so we're gonna just blend this in, and I'm just, you know, I'm using patting motions, like bouncing motions. I'm not really like swiping it up, I'm just really just patting it in and, you know, bringing it to my hairline, just so that we get seamless, not that it's just like right here, that we can like blend it up. Also, if you have bags, it's better to blend the concealer up rather than down, so that it doesn't sink as much into those lines either, and it conceals the bags better. So when you're concealing, just take your brush and go up towards your eye. Don't press it down, just you have to press it up. Now this is definitely a matte foundation concealer. Interesting. My dark circles are so, my darkness under my eyes is so great that not even the corrector corrected it that much. I'm going to put a little bit of more C6 in here because on camera it doesn't show as much, but in person there is still some darkness peeking through, so I'm not looking for that. So C8 is definitely like an everyday, I could make C8 work. Like when you blend it out, it's not as it doesn't appear as orange. It just doesn't give me that much, like it doesn't give me brightness. But I noticed that when I'm blending it out, the little bits of like dark circle, like the blue undertone underneath my eyes isn't showing as much on the C8 side. And that could also be because it's closer to my skin tone. So whenever you use a concealer that's way too light for you and you put it over like that darker tone, it just really enhances that more than really conceal it. So when you use something that's closer to your skin tone or your skin tone per se, then it really just like it'll conceal it, but it won't give you that bright highlight, if you know what I mean. Now honey, if you have dry under eyes, this concealer may not be for you, because right now I have a little bit of dry under eyes, and I did put eye cream underneath, but it is slightly creasing, but I do have a lot of lines underneath my eyes, so that's to be expected, but it's a little bit more than I would like. This side, even on camera, is looking a little funky. This side looks really like white and bright, and this side just looks like regular, if you guys could tell. And I feel like on this side it's falling deeper into my sockets. Like I think it's, like I said, I think it's too bright. I think I would need to put C8 down first and then maybe add a little bit of C6 here just for a little bit of brightness, because C6 alone, as you can see, like if you just look at this side, it really make like the difference. I don't know if you guys could see it that much on the camera, but this is really white in person, and like not in a good way. Like I could feel like when I take flash, it'll bounce, like I'll look crazy. I'll look like I'll look crazy. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I didn't really do anything different. I added a little bit of contour, some highlights, some under eye, some like lower lash line color, and that's basically what I did. Outside of that, I also put some setting powder, so we're gonna get a little bit close up. So all in all, like this side in person, it looks a little bit too orange and maybe a little too dark for me. It could also be from the corrector since it was very orange, but I don't think so, because this one didn't have that same effect. But I think this one is a little too dark for me. Now C6 is looking fine right now, but I just have a feeling with some flashback photography, it's gonna really accentuate my under eye just because it is a lot lighter. I know in the camera it doesn't pick up that way, but in person, I'm telling you guys, like it does not look good. So I did take a photo, which I'm not gonna share because it looks busted, but from what I could see, this side, which is the one with the C6, definitely appears a little bit more white, a little bit more, you know, flashbacky. So I would probably have to either A, use a darker like face powder and kind of just go over so that I don't get that cast, or mix C6 and C8. I kind of wish that there was a middle one in between C6 and C8 that had a yellow undertone, so that I would be able to use that one, because like I said, I feel like C8 is a little bit too dark for me in the wintertime. In the summer it'd probably be perfect, but C6 is definitely a little too light for me. I would definitely have to mix the two of them. But overall, I actually really like them. I don't feel like they're as heavy as the Tarte Shade Tape under my eyes, to be honest. Like they don't feel really heavy. It is a matte formula. If you have a lot of lines underneath your eyes, it is going to crease. Not like crazy, but I noticed that. It could be, again, because of the corrector. But when I tried them without the corrector, my under eyes looked like doo-doo. Like it just did not look good without one, and that's just because I have really dark under eye circles, so I do need to correct if I want to go. I mean, for work I don't really care, because like I said, I'm not trying to impress no one at work. But if I'm going out and I'm going out with my friends and I want to look good, then I do want to put a little bit more effort, and I will use a corrector. It could have been the corrector, it could have been anything, but these do get a pass from me. I think for $7, that's an amazing price for concealers. I think they're just as great as the ColourPop, which are $6, and I did a video on that. I'll leave a link down below for that one if you guys are interested. I do love affordable concealers, because sometimes you don't want to shell $29, $30, $25, $20 on a concealer. You just want something that's going to work, that's not going to break the bank, because Kylie Cosmetics, while it was great, is $20. This one is $7. Like, you don't feel as bad. Like that can be, that's like a meal prep, at least for me. This in some places will get you 2 slices of pizza and a can of soda. So I mean, it's not that bad when you think about it compared to other high-end concealers, but I definitely want to play with them a little bit more. For my first impressions, I think that they're pretty good. Overall, I do like them. I think that, you know, they have a nice range starting out at least, and I heard that I think that they're coming out with more shades, if I'm not mistaken. They said, if that's true, I'll leave it down below, but I hope that they add more shades. Makeup Revolution, if you're watching, which I highly doubt, please, 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 please add a shade in between C6 and C8 that has a yellow undertone, because there is just too much of like a drastic change. I'll leave a link down below in case you are interested in getting them. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in picking up this concealer, or what is your favorite concealer at the moment. I'd really like to know that. If you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helped me and I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You know you want to, and when you do, don't forget to tell your friends so that they can tell their friends and 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 their friends, so that we could all be parts of this great big familia. Follow me on my social media handles, my Snapchat, my Instagram, my Twitter. Slide up in those DMs. I want to hear from you guys. As always, I hope you truly enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!